So you want to know about commuting life as a flight attendant? Well, I've got the goods and the scoop for you. Just give me 1 second while I give him the goods. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about the most important thing if you're thinking about becoming a flight attendant. That's the commuting life. I'm pretty sure you've heard it. If you haven't, then you're going to hear it today. The commuting life, it's basically the end-all be-all decision of if you're going to decide to be a flight attendant or not. The thing with flight attendants is that sometimes we don't always live where we work. So you might not always have a base where you're living. So you have to get to work. And it just so happens that the most flexible job in the world allows you to get into those spaces and, be where you want to be, but still got to, carry your business out. So we're going to talk about exactly what that means. So if you don't know what commuting is or any of the other lingo, don't worry. We're here to debunk it one video at a time. Just let me focus on my guy here because he's just, hold on, I got you. Give me 1 second. All right. So, just got done feeding the little one, and we are now almost ready to go. I just ordered my Uber. Now, mind you, I said I lived in. Mind you, I said I live in Jacksonville, Florida. So meaning I am based out of New York, and it's on me to be accountable on getting over to New York on time. So our trip tomorrow starts at 6:05 in the morning, meaning there's no flights to get you there the day of. So guess what this guy gets to do? I gotta go a day early. So this is the commuting life of a flight attendant. My Uber is on the way. Here we go. How you doing?
Hello, is it?
You have no skills and you're a loser!
So your boy actually ended up doing something really irresponsible. Here we are at the airport, and I actually let my phone die. My phone is dead, like dead. So I'm recording off of my other device, which is why we are here with this device. It's called being, proactive. It's something that you got to be as a flight attendant, So yeah, and also we don't have enough charges. Got tariffs going on, no charges. We're here at Jacksonville Airport. I take off and I'm going to LaGuardia. I start work out of JFK, so I actually have to take a shuttle over to the next airport. Once I get into New York, it's not over with. Now I have to actually go over to JFK. And from there, we'll get somewhere and settle down, probably a nice little bed, lounge, wherever is more convenient. We'll weigh our options once we get there, because this commuter here, we're not getting crash pads. We don't feel like staying with random strangers. And we're trying to save money. We got a kid. So that's just us. You can get a crash pad, or you can get a hotel, or, that's the commuting life. You kind of like spend extra money. That's the biggest difference that you got to ask yourself before deciding if you want to become a flight attendant or not. Is this worth it? Do I have enough money? And can I survive off of the pay? Because each airline has its own starting pay. And it just so happens that the airline I work for has a decent starting pay, so I can kind of, wiggle around it. We're gonna wait for our plane. It's not here yet, so lucky me, I got to the airport a little early. We're delayed, but hey, such is life. It's now 6:07 on the dot, and the flight doesn't depart until like 7:45. So I got some time to kill. I can play my games, I can listen to music, I can write, I can do whatever I want to do. I can make a video like I'm making now. So that's what we do when we're commuting. All right, so this is one of the things that you have to be conscious of with flight attendant, is that you always have to make sure of plan A, plan B, plan C, all the way down to plan C. All right, so plan A was going straight to JFK to go show up work tomorrow, but the flight was full. So we decided to go for the Atlanta flight. The flight was also not full. I just left the house a little late. So now we have plan C, which is probably gonna be like second to last plan, where we get to LaGuardia, and now we have to go to JFK. So we're on a plane now, and we're gonna take off shortly. So we're on track. So next time we land, we'll be in LaGuardia, and I can show up for my shift once I get checked into my hotel, and we're on time.
thanks very much again, folks, and I hope everyone has a nice night and a nice rest of the week.
To Florida, so I'm thinking I transferred everything over, but I haven't yet. All right, guys, so we are here at our final destination, John F. Kennedy Airport. After a long commute, in place for work for tomorrow. You got today as the travel day. Mind you, you're not getting paid today. This is just make sure you get your butt in place. This is the price you pay for not being in base, you know, because I don't have to live in New York to work out in New York. It's a trade-off. You don't live in New York, you gotta come a day early sometimes. Sometimes you're able to get your trips to the point where it's like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and the earliest flight in here is like 8 a.m. So you're not having to get here a day early. You can come the day before. But even with that, you're pushing it, because if you try to come the day of, and 8 a.m., there's only one flight that gets you there at 8 a.m. So if that flight gets delayed or if it gets canceled, then you just might as well say you're SOL. Go ahead and look for another job. You're on the unemployment line and tariffs. So don't play with that. You can if you want to. I do it sometimes, but you know, today we're here. But we're gonna get some shut-eye today. And yeah, so stay tuned for tomorrow when we see where we're going. I know where we're going, but you're gonna figure it out.
Passport check, I need a copy ready, please bring your passport to us here at B30.
All right, so we finally made it. First destination of 2 destinations. We have beautiful Pensacola, as you can see. One thing that you really have to look at when you're thinking about commuting is it worth it? Can you afford it? Look at the pay scale, how many flights you have from your airport to every single city that they have a base in that they might possibly be looking at filling. Like, make sure you do your research on the airline that you're attempting to join and see what bases that they've been recently hiring for. Like, for example, if an airline past couple classes, they got Facebook group me's, they have Reddits, they have Glassdoors. You can look on any one of those and to see previous people who have made it or people who have been in the process, and they can tell you, oh, all of my class got sent to Minneapolis, or oh, all my class got sent to Las Vegas, or all my classes got sent to Detroit. So once you see that that is like a trend, then you be like, I hope that's Alfred for me. Make sure you research the basis that's normally been given and see how many flights a day go out of your city. So for example, if you are living in Atlanta and they don't have a base in Atlanta, or there's not an offering recently for Atlanta, like you know that they're not gonna give you Atlanta if you get the job, you might wanna start looking at if they're offering Minneapolis or if they're offering Denver. Okay, how many flights a day go out of my airport, weekends and weekdays, because those schedules can vary. And so if you see that for Atlanta, there's a Denver flight 6 times a day on 6 different airlines, you might want to go versus like New York. For hypothetical speaking, if Atlanta only flies to New York 2 times, but they fly to Denver 6 times on your airline, like you might want to be based in Denver. I know it's farther away, but guess what? You miss one flight, you live to fly another day. And just the same, see if you can like move to Denver. A couple of my airlines I've been with, I actually just moved over to the city. Like I went from Atlanta to Vegas one time and I was just living in Vegas. Don't know don't know why I did that, but it was cool. You know, you might end up finding out that you like it. You might end up finding new friends, everything, but be that as it may. So that's commuting. to the T. Like you can either choose to commute or you can choose to close the distance. So those are the two options you have if you're not living in base. I mean, honestly, who would want to commute? That's so stupid. I'm stupid. It's me. You really gotta know exactly what you're doing when you're out here in this commuting life. It ain't for the weak, especially now we got all these tariffs. But anyway, I digress. You're gonna really get tested a lot when it comes to commuting. Schedule flexibility is all a part of the game. If you work your schedule right, commuting isn't that bad. Certain airlines have different types of rules or policies or, the way things are run is flight attendants, and you got to understand what exactly you're getting yourself into. Some airlines, they have reserve days where you're on reserve for like the whole week, or like 5 days in a row, or it's like a random amount of days you're on reserve depending on the need of that base you're in. The particular base that you're in is gonna determine how many reserve days you have, and then also the people who are under you and above you, how they want their schedule to be. So if you have 1,000 people above you that want the weekends off and they only can give like 700 people a weekend off, you're not gonna get the weekend off. And vice versa, if you want the weekdays on, you're probably gonna get the weekdays on because that's like unlimited. They don't care. They probably want people to work on the weekends. It doesn't matter. But scheduling is a huge part of commuting. At any point in the video you think of any questions, you can pause the video right now and just drop the questions down in the comments, and I can make another video on it later in the same manner that I'm doing this video. That's kind of how I'm gonna be doing these things, based off of questions. I've been asked so many times, how does that work? How do you live in Florida but you work in New York? That must be so hectic. Like, how do you get to work? It's easy if you make it easy. So don't make it hard. Mike died.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So audio quality might just be a little bit bad. I'm all over the place. But mind you, this is my first YouTube video. So just bear with me now. Bear with me. I've talked about getting to work as a commuter. I've talked about actually, the concept of being a commuter. But I'm going to go into a little niche real quick because I identify with dads or family members, the mothers, dads, people with kids that are flight attendants and commuters. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and like paint this perfect picture like I'm on the beach with a Margaret with a pina colada, and that's not how it goes. Even though that's how it's going right now, I miss my kid. You kind of gotta make time. I suggest living in a place where your company lays over. That kind of helps. I live in Jacksonville, for example, and I'm able to get Jacksonville layovers. People don't want to go to Jacksonville, which is good for me because I get to say that I hold Jacksonville. I can consistently get Jacksonville layovers every single month. Going home while at work helps, and then just working multiple days on and then multiple days off if your company allows that, because everybody's company is different. So just finding that balance. It's gonna take a while. Like, it took me a year to find, or an inkling of balance. I wouldn't say I found it, but I would say that it's close. Be conscious about navigating your career as a flight attendant when it comes to having a family. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not for the weak, but stick in there and you'll get some good results. I'm about to go ahead and settle in. It's my last drink for the day, and then I go to sleep, and we wake up and we're in our next destination. I'll see you guys in Ohio. Yeah. So one thing you gotta talk about when you talk about commuting is you gotta talk about not only the logistics of it and like everything you gotta do to get to work and everything that you do while you're at work, but just like mentally, like what exactly does that come with when it comes to commuting? When it comes to commuting mentally, you have to really think about your friends, family, people in your corner, just mental health overall, because at the end of the day, when you're on the road by yourself, whether you got family that supports you or whether you just have friends that rock with you, it's all about the mental. Sometimes it gets lonely. You're in the hotel room by yourself. You have to find activities that actually really engage your mind. So for me, I bring my roller skates everywhere I go. I skate on the road, and then sometimes I go to the gym, really recently been trying to go a lot because, you know, I'm trying to get a little swole. Not saying I'm like swole now, but got a little muscle mass on me. It really is imperative that you think about mental health, physical health, just thinking about, you know, keeping up your mental. So here I am in Cincinnati, and we landed kind of late, so we don't have that much time to be here in the first place. Gotta wake up early, landed late, wake up early. And it's just, all I can do to bring some type of balance to myself is gym. One thing you always wanna really think about is how you navigate keeping up with the people that you love. Call your people every day, mom, dad, friend, lover, sister, brother, you know, anybody that's on your corner or anybody that you can just talk to on a day-to-day basis. Make sure you hit them up, do things that you like to do, whether that be if there's a movie you want to go see that movie, go eat that food, go do that activity. Because at the end of the day, yes, you're here to make money, but it's a lifestyle. And you got to make that lifestyle work for you. Otherwise, you'll be miserable. And why work at a job where you're miserable? I just don't see why you would do that. Schedule days today also. So if you want to know more about scheduling, let me know. I'm not going to make a video if it's not asked for. And I just want to make sure I'm giving y'all nothing but the most engaging and thoughtful content that I can give y'all. So if you want any type of videos, but more specifically, since it's scheduled day, if you would like a scheduled day video, please let me know. Even if it's just one person that wants to know, I'll make a video specifically for you because I'm just that good of a person. It's a little late, so I might go ahead and just take it in for the night. We'll see. In the meantime, between time, I got one more day before I get to go back home to my family. So you just seen a classic 3-day trip in the life of a commuter. It's not for the weak, but it makes you strong. You don't gotta be weak. It's not for the weak, but it makes the strong. It's not for the weak, but it makes the strong. But anyway, let me go ahead and take it in for the night. Thank y'all for watching as long as you did. If you're still tuned in, if not, you know, they're not gonna see this. So it's just us. You're part of the fan club. I love you.